was able to see what was going on, and then they got into action and went and fetched divers from the other rapids and aqualungs and ropes and whatever else was necessary. So once they'd made communication, it was pretty quick, and there were a lot of people there from you know, the paramedics to the police to the fire department to other rescuers, and of course the other paddlers. They were amazing. That was at the race for them. Took a second place, you know, no second thoughts there, and everybody was keen to just down tools and help this guy. And I know there were a couple of boats that were doing quite well in the race, and they just, you know, that didn't even enter their minds. So thanks to those guys.
So, during this time, I had a variety of thoughts going through my head. It was, you know, I knew at one stage that I didn't really say to myself, you know, you're going to die, but I had a conscious thought that I did not want to die. That was probably the biggest conscious thought that stands out. But the paddlers in the water were absolutely fantastic. The guys were talking to me. They were helping me out. When I got tired, I was saying to them, guys, I'm getting a bit tired, I can't hold on. They would grab me and just let me rest for a little bit. And really that gave me huge strength to be surrounded by fellow paddlers in that predicament.
But once the word had got out, the response was pretty good, and everybody was there. So normally on these races, we've been shooting the doozy for quite some time, and it's especially on the doozy for me. I always take along a rope and a carabiner and a pulley and a knife and all sorts of Boy Scout kind of things. And it just so happened that on this trip, I never had any of that with me. And all I had was suntan lotion, which was used to grease the leg and make it slippery to get it out of the rock, and then also ran back to the car to get the car jack so we could shift some boulders out of the way. And I realized how unfit I was. The trip to the car was not exactly close, but we managed to get it there in time, and all went well. So I wish I had a rope with me at that particular time. And the police were there as well, and there was one particular captain, I'm not sure of his name, but you know, once he got there, he managed to control and take charge of everything, because you know, there were so many rescuers there, canoeists and likewise, who were so enthusiastic with suggestions and, you know, trying to get stuck in and help wherever they can, however they can. And when he came along, he seemed to take charge. He calmed all the rescuers down and was really sorting out all who's going to do what, who comes in, who goes out, where to bring the stretcher, where to bring the aqualungs, where to bring the car jack, and, you know, do you want to rotate, are you tired, new ones in, new guys out, and helicopters in, helicopters out, and he was very good at directing the whole operation.
The success of the rescue was due to the fact that the paddlers were in the water. Guys who understood the rapids, guys who understood the river, understood how they could get to me and where they could stand. And that was quite important in the rescue, the fact that they were there helping me out. While they were in the water, we had South African Police Services divers who came in trying to sort of free my leg as well. We had a fire brigade lifesaver who was involved and also wedged himself in the scrum, if I can call it that, to prop me up. And through this process, there were so many people on the banks pulling ropes to hold my body up as well. I had 2 ropes around my chest, people coordinating events on the side of the bank. There's just so many people to thank. You know, I know Dr. Colin Mitchell, one of the Netcare doctors, was on the bank coordinating events from Netcare's point of view. Obviously, without a doubt, it would have been a very different predicament if the water level hadn't been turned off. As I said earlier, it was a stalemate, and with the water level coming down, I got a lot more hope. I felt a lot stronger, and the paddlers were actually able to get behind me and get my shoe off my foot, which freed my foot. And then in turn, it was a matter of just wiggling and pushing and kicking and pulling, and with time we managed to wiggle my knee out. The water having dropped from my shoulders to my waist actually was the thing that allowed us to get my knee out. So to Mgeni Water and Great Fris and the guys who were involved in getting that water turned off, you know, a huge thanks. I can't really express my thanks to all the guys that were involved. It was a magnificent, remarkable event. Obviously, an incident that affected my life, but the fact that I'm going to be back on rivers with the same paddlers is a fantastic thing for me, and I'd just like to thank them all.
Well, it was a huge relief that you know, that everything went safely and that he was out. You know, as you were there, you heard of suggestions that guys were making to try and free him, which you know, deliberately breaking legs and you know, giving him tranquilizers and all sorts of stuff. And it was a big relief when he was out. And I must say, over the past couple of weeks, it's been on my mind. When you're that close to somebody in a situation like that, it plays on your mind. And you know, as time goes on, you always think of what you could have done and other ways of how to get to him, and you know, how innovative you could have been and how easy it could have been. And I must say, you do think about it a lot. I still think about it, and you know, I was glad that I could help, and hope that what I did, you know, played a big part in helping him to be there next year.
water subsided, the rescue guys were able to get him out there. Netcare 911 took Tim, they landed him at the site, they checked him out, and then they flew him to Umhlanga Hospital. And it came together so beautifully well. And not just that, but just to see the camaraderie, the paddlers, the guys that are there. There's a lovely Afrikaans word, diersettingsvermoë. And that was happening over there. We saw these guys for 1 hour, 20 minutes, actually struggling to get their mate, giving up their own race to actually do that. And teamwork makes the dream work. And we saw the dream work on Saturday. And we saw all the preparation that the Dusi committee do, of which, by the way, I'm not one. I'm actually I'm a consultant to the Dusi. But hats off to the Dusi committee for an incredible job and all those people that were involved. It really made for a successful returning of Tim White to his family, which, thank God, happened.
They lifted him off, picked him up eventually with a helicopter and went over to the bridge where the ambulances were. And so the helicopter crew did a practice run before the race actually started, so that was also a thing. The practice run demonstration that they did for everybody paid off, and it worked pretty well.
And not to forget the little guys, the guys that were in the Netcare helicopter with me. Thanks a lot to you guys as well.